Hello and welcome to yet another video on Margin Notes, presented by your mentor Vivek. Margin Notes, Episode 5. Commentary, not a summary. Link in the description. And this one is a different kind of article to the last four, which is why I picked it. Those were reflections, somebody thinking out loud about what they learned. This is a practical guide, and it makes one argument I have not seen anywhere else in this whole genre. It opens with the failure mode we have all watched. Somebody opens an agent and types, "Build me a full ERP with auth, a dashboard, CRM, reports, a mobile app, and clean architecture," and then acts surprised when the result comes back in his phrase, half impressive and half structurally cursed. His diagnosis is that the model was asked to invent the requirements, the architecture, the constraints, and the implementation order all at once, while also doing the work. The first half of the article is the standard chain, and he presents it cleanly. Principles first, then what you want and why, deliberately, without technology. Then a clarification pass that surfaces ambiguity before the architecture hardens. Then the technical plan, which is where the stack finally enters. Then tasks. Then implementation, one task at a time. And his framing for why that order works is the cleanest I have read. AI coding tools are strongest when the problem is already shaped, and much weaker when they have to invent the shape while also doing the work. And then he does something nobody else in this series has done. He stops treating the agent as one thing. He assigns different agents to different phases. One for shaping the product, drafting principles, and clarifying ambiguity. Another for narrow execution against already defined tasks, another for second opinion review. His line for it is, "Let the specification define the truth, and let the executor execute against it." Now notice why that is even possible. In episode 2, we covered the point that the same artifacts travel across agents. This article is what you do once you believe that. If your specs are portable, you are free to pick the best tool for each phase instead of marrying one. Two things in here deserve more attention than the article gives them. The first is a single sentence in the installation section, and I want to lift it out because it is a security note wearing a setup instruction costume. He warns that packages carrying the same name on the public package index are not the official maintained distribution, and that you should install from the project's own repository. Think about what that means. Somebody typing the obvious install command from an article or from memory could pull an entirely different package into a repository where an agent is about to run with file write permissions. That deserved a call-out box, not a footnote. The second is his list of 6 common mistakes, which is genuinely the most useful section. Treating the method as a document generator rather than a way of structuring delivery. Writing a weak specification and expecting a strong plan out of it. His line there is that garbage in still wins. AI has not repealed that law. Skipping the clarification step, jumping from spec to implementation without reviewing the artifacts in between. And my favorite, if your tasks are still huge, you have not decomposed the work, you have just renamed the mess. I have seen that exact failure on real teams, and I have never had a phrase for it. Now, my disagreement, and it is with the part I just praised. The role assignments are asserted rather than measured. One agent is described as strong at long form reasoning and structured refinement, another as a strong execution partner. There is no benchmark behind that, no comparison, no test where the same task went to both. Now the assignments are plausible and they match how these tools feel to use. But on this channel, we keep a hard line between feel and evidence. And this is feel. If you adopt the structure, adopt it as a hypothesis you are testing, not as a finding. And there is a shelf life problem that is nobody's fault. A table saying this model is good at that phase describes a moment, and these systems change every few weeks. The structure of his idea is durable. Assign roles by phase. Keep your artifacts portable so you can recast at any time. The specific casting is a snapshot of April. Take the structure and retest the casting yourself every few months. And one cost the article does not price. Every handoff between agents is another place where something can quietly go wrong, and another place a human has to look. On the Spec signals side of the channel, we measured that 91% of resolved agent breakdowns needed a person to notice them. Running 3 agents across a feature does not divide that supervision. It multiplies the number of seams you are supervising. The artifacts help because they give each handoff something checkable, but it is not free, and the article reads as though it is. So what is worth taking? Take the durable half. Stop trying to make one tool do every job equally well. And his line for that is the best sentence in the article. That is not sophistication. That is workflow confusion with branding. Assign work by phase. Keep your artifacts portable so the casting can change. And retest the casting when the tools move, which they will. And notice the one instruction he repeats in every single tool section, unchanged. Implement one task only. Do not expand the scope. Report the files you changed, the checks you ran, and the follow-up risks. That is the same instruction regardless of which agent is receiving it, which is quietly the strongest evidence for his whole argument. If the discipline is portable, the tool is genuinely interchangeable. So here is where I land. This is the most practical article I have covered so far, and it is the only one making the argument that you should stop using a single agent for every phase of the work. Take the structure and treat the specific casting as a hypothesis you test rather than a rule you follow. Price the extra handoffs honestly, and please install from the official source. That one sentence may be the most valuable thing in the piece. The full article is by Mosab Youssef on Medium. The link is in the description. Go and read it. If you found this useful, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for patient listening, and see you in the next video. Until then, peace out.